I'm still not sure about
Should we take another look?
Let's come...
What's in that little box? I bet it's bones. A skull, at least.
You know, maybe I won't open it. It's a statue of a wolf. Standing up straight, like a man.
You know, there's a name for that.
I know.
It's not quite as dusty as everything else up here. Also, it's not a statue. It's stuffed.
Just dusty junk. What is that?
Not sure. Some kind of reel?
Looks like it might attach to something.
Nothing catching my interest.
I'm sorry, is this spooky attic boring you?
Kinda. It's a jar. The head's
Huh.
Someone painted out the window.
Do you think it was done recently?
No idea. Either way, it's pretty suspicious.
Sally, you don't have a dust allergy, do you?
No. Do you?
Let me put it this way. Tush! Just dusty junk. Just dusty junk. Just dusty junk.
Nothing catching my interest.
I'm sorry, is this spooky attic boring?
Kinda. Do you know what this is?
Guess not.
What is it?
We don't know. We were really hoping you would.
My friends, shed your hope and let it fall free like sandbags from a hot air balloon.
That's the most depressing idiom I've ever heard.
What's this? Is it a clue?
We don't actually know, but Grimoire picked it up, so now he has to pretend it is.
That's how it works.
Freya was very talented, even at that age.
Do you know how old this photo is?
Not sure. Must be a couple of years at least. Sometime before Fiona settled on her current style. Ooh, a secret diary.
That's our guess, too.
Excellent. Not a fan of insects myself. Whose research is this?
We were hoping you might know.
No, can't say I... Freya, perhaps. I know she was always very fond of grubby little things like this.
Noted.
Gaudy old thing, isn't it? Flora seems very fond of it. I've never understood why. But then I could say the same thing about her husband.
Heyo!
Goodness me. Poppy really doesn't take care of her belongings, does she?
It wasn't in Poppy's room. It was in the little pond in the garden.
Exactly! Hardly the place for it. Is that for sewing?
Maybe?
We have no idea.
Where did you find this?
It was in the attic.
Oh, huh. I forgot we even had an attic.
I don't know what that is.
Me neither.
Me three. Oh, sorry. I thought you said me too.
What is that?
I'm not sure. It looks like it attaches to something else.
Why don't you go back and double-check the area you found it? Maybe you'll find the rest of the something else.
I'm not so sure about that.
Is this yours, Fifi?
I do not recognize it. And besides, I would have no use for such a thing. Perhaps it could be used to hang wet laundry?
Was that a joke?
Yes.
The attic's directly above us, right?
Yeah.
A bunch of old books, covered in dust now, but they look well read. Weird.
It's someone humming a tune. An especially fancy cage.
And it's home to 3 especially fancy birds.
I'm still not sure.
Should we take another look?
Let's come back later. It's quiet.
Mm-hmm.
You're supposed
It's
to...
not. It's an appropriate amount of quiet.
I'm
Should we take another look?
Let's come back later. It's a stone
I think it's supposed to be an egg.
It's the little boat we used to cross the lake. It's the only way on.
What a comforting thought. It's a garden, I think.
We could walk closer to it.
Ready when you are.
It's the little boat we used. It's the only
What
way.
a comforting thought. Giant stone frog?
Ah, he's got his tongue out like he's catching snowflakes.
Except those aren't snowflakes. They're feathers.
It's the door.
One of only two ways to
Oh,
get
yeah.
It's an illustrated book.
It's been left open.
Or it was left open for us to...
Ever so slightly unnerving. Do you know who was reading this book?
It belongs to my mother.
And she left it in the library?
No, my mother has not been in the library for some time.
There's something about the image of Flora in the painting. Something suspicious.
Let's ask her about it.
So, this painting, specifically that knife in Flora's hand.
Yeah, it's creepy. But we didn't find a knife anywhere in the room. So what's going on?
The knife is still in this room.
Wait, I'm confused.
Me too.
So what's going on?
The knife was taken by the murderer.
Wait, I'm confused.
Me too.
So what's going on?
It's not a knife. We need a clue to compare with the painting. Something to explain what that knife shape actually is.
That kinda makes sense, but no. That's not it. 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 We'll get to that in a minute. We'll get to that in a minute. That's not it. 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 That's not it.
Let's take a closer look at this. The unfinished section was stolen by a plant from an ink-dip bird. Nope. The painted knife was stolen by a bird from an ink-dip bird. That's not right. The painted knife is made out of a bird from an ink-dip bird. That's not right either. The painted knife is made out of a plant from an ink-dip bird. That's not right either. The painted knife is actually just a plant from an ink-dip bird. Almost. Maybe just... The painted knife is actually just a chick from an ink-dip bird. Almost. Maybe. The painted knife is actually just a wing from an ink-dip bird. Almost. Maybe. The painted knife is actually just a feather from an ink-dip bird.
It's definitely the right shape, but the book's not in color. The thing Flora's holding in the painting is red and white, specifically. Is there anything to suggest that the ink-dip bird is red and white too? That's not it. That's not it. That's not it. That kinda makes sense. That's not it. That's not it. That's not it. That's not it. We'll get to that in a minute. This little thing? I don't understand why Felix would make a model of this bird as part of a gift for Flora. And come to think of it, why would Flora be holding a feather in the painting anyway?
The ink-dip bird was Penny's pet, so she kept Felix as a bargaining chip. Now, the ink-dipped bird betrayed Flora, so she ate a single feather as a bargaining chip. That's not right. The ink-dipped bird attacked Flora, so she destroyed a single feather as evidence of a crime. That's not right either. The ink-dipped bird was Flora's pet, so she kept a single feather to destroy later. Almost. Maybe just... The ink-dipped bird was Flora's pet, so she kept a single feather to show her friends. Almost. Maybe just... The ink-dipped bird was Flora's pet, so she kept a single feather to remember it by.
She kept the bird as a pet. And it died?
Maybe. Maybe it flew away.
Flora spends all her time staring out the window.
Either way, she kept the feather. I think it was pretty important to her.
All right. So she was holding the feather while Freya was painting her. But where is it now? You'd think she'd keep it somewhere close by.
Yeah, I think she does. Normally. This is where Flora usually keeps her feather. That's not right. That's not right.
But we opened it. It's empty.
Mm-hmm. Completely empty. Flora? She's pointing at something in the corner of the room.
It's just a pile of books. They're not... Wait, there's something tucked inside this one.
Let's go over what we know about the crime scene. We know a little more about the crime scene now. So, what do you think? Was Freya stabbed by her own painting?
A real knife was replaced by the ornate trowel, so it could stab Freya. Nope. A real knife was replaced by the painted ink-dip feather, so it could stab Freya. That's not right. The ornate trowel was replaced by the painted ink-dip feather, so it could stab Freya. That's not right either. Blood from the paint pot. was used to paint the red tip of the painted ink dip feather so it could stab Freya. Almost. Maybe just change one. Blood from the paint pot was used to paint the red tip of the painted ink dip feather to resemble a bloody knife.
I think you're right. Can't decide if I'm disappointed or relieved.
I have a question. Why?
Either it's a very strange coincidence, or somebody set it up.
Somebody deliberately put blood in the paint pot and hid that feather after the crime. Why? To distract us?
Possibly.
Well, it worked.
Possibly.
Flora's the only person who could have hidden the feather, unless someone took it from her.
Let's go over what we do know. The door was locked the whole time. It stayed locked until Fitz kicked it down. Normally, it can only be opened from the inside. Pointer said he couldn't see Freya from his telescope, but he did see Flora lying by the window.
So whatever got Freya got Flora too?
Except Flora survived. She didn't get a stab wound like Freya did.
Hold on. If there was no knife, then what did stab Freya?
It could be anything. It might not even be important.
How is it not important?
Right now, I'm less interested in the what, and more interested in the how.
The angle of Freya's wound suggests she was stabbed at a perfect right angle. That is, from directly in front of her. But she was standing right up by the canvas.
Somehow, Freya ended up lying on her back, still perfectly in line with the painting.
Maybe something went through it.
Through the painting? Wouldn't that leave a hole?
Okay, well, how about this? How do we know Freya was stabbed before she fell over? Maybe her being stabbed and her falling over are completely unrelated.
I'm still...
Should we take another look?
Let's come back later.